Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So this morning I was listening to Democracy Now! And they were talking about how there's this white supremacist who is running for a congressional seat in the Chicago area. He's running in the 3rd district. And the deadline for filing to run in the Republican primary has passed, and he is the only candidate on the ballot right now. So there's a very real possibility that a white supremacist may win the Republican nomination for that congressional seat. And the thing is this, this is a predominantly Democratic area, so a lot of Republicans probably thought it would be futile to run in that particular district, so nobody else signed up. So you had this white supremacist who has a real chance of winning the Republican nomination for this congressional seat. And, I want to talk about this for a second. First of all, this guy is a racist. He is one of these Holocaust deniers. He was a leader of the American Nazi Party. He attended a white supremacist conference called the Aryan Nations World Congress. So this man is an unapologetic racist, white supremacist. And from what I understand, he was on CNN recently. I'll post a link in the description box to his appearance on CNN, also some articles from the Washington Post and another news source. So y'all read those. I think it's the National Public Radio. So check out those articles. But this is the situation. I mean, this makes me think about a couple of things. Number one, the fact that a white supremacist wants to run for the Republican nomination, that tells you a lot about the Republican Party. The fact that so many white supremacists embrace the Republican Party, that says a lot about the nature of the Republican Party. It says that something about the Republican Party's message resonates with these white supremacists. It's no mistake that these white supremacists, the alt-right, supported Donald Trump, for instance. It's no mistake that they were celebrating his election with Nazi salutes. That's because the Republican Party has gone so far to the right that it is embraced by the KKK, these neo-Nazis, these alt-right fanatics, and racists. And the Republican Party's agenda is hostile to immigrants, hostile to black people, hostile to other so-called minorities. So because of that hostility, a lot of these white supremacists, they gravitate towards the Republican Party, much like how flies gravitate towards fecal matter. And it's a disgrace, man, that we're going to have a situation in Chicago where there's going to be a white supremacist, more likely than not, nominated to run for a congressional seat. And he'll probably lose because, again, it's a Democratic stronghold, but that fact alone just makes it clear how important politics are. While people are writing off the importance of voting, this is another reminder of how important it is for each and every one of us to be aware of the politics in our community, to understand the positions of these candidates, and to actually not only vote, but to actually put forth a political agenda and hold our elected officials accountable to that agenda. It would be an absolute disgrace if this guy actually wins the nomination. And the fact that he will win, that says a lot about the Republican Party. And this is not the first time you had these white supremacists run for Republican positions. I mean, one of the infamous examples is David Duke. And, the Trump administration is an example. You have an administration that ran for the White House on a campaign of hatred, on a campaign of intolerance, on a campaign of xenophobia and anti-immigrant racism. So this is nothing new, man. And, it's time for us to make our voices heard, not just by doing these videos or talking or giving speeches. We got to actually get out there and vote, use our votes, use our voices, use whatever means is necessary to fight these forces of hate.